Well, it's been a few days since I uploaded this video, as you're watching or really listening to. Right now it's a very blustery day today. Windy. This happens to be at night when I'm recording this at 8:29 and counting. Well, a few days ago, from my point of view, or actually point of view of you listening, I guess, this video when I upload it, I was harassed by cops. Yeah, I was in a park, minding my own business, but they go in here like fucking gangbusters, like they own everything, driving around and all that, destroying the park's property, literally ripping up the roadways. Well, in this case, there were two cops in one car. The driver mumbled something, sounded like, "Get the fuck out of here," and then started yelling at me like questions. Like, the first one I actually understood was, "Are you homeless?" You know, in a really mean, rough voice. It's none of his business if I am or not. And I said, "No, I'm not. It's none of your business anyways." It's very rude to be going, yelling stuff at people. I just answered the question as a word. But he kept on harassing me. Got out of the car, didn't want me to leave, or he specified I was leaving from his first barking orders or whatever command. I don't know. He just mumbling shit. Asking ridiculous questions. "What's your name?" "Well, your name is your first name." Yeah. Then he's asking for my last name. "Well, that's my surname." "You didn't ask for my surname, you asked for my name, which happens to be my first name. Never asked for my whole complete name." Stating the reason why he's bugging me is because he's new to this town. And he needs to get to know people. That's not a way to get to know people in this area that you serve as a fucking cop. His partner got out of the car as well. His face is being blocked by the lights on top of the car. But I can see from the person himself, I can see him clearly, he pulls out his fucking gun. While the driver, that I can see clearly, he has his hand on his gun. So I know that he's have it at the ready so he can go and start shooting me for whatever reason. I'm not dangerous or, seem threatening. Fuck. Are they that fucking paranoid over people? For God's sakes, I happen to be in California. A guy sitting in a park by himself, playing with this phone, such as one person does. Let's say you want to listen to music or whatever. In my case, that's what I was doing. And I was setting up the music on there and working my device, getting it to work right, when he came up. I was already done anyways, and I was getting my shit together and going, and barking about what I have and whatever. Horrible thing. And then had the gall to ask me in a very rough and cynical manner of, am I an American? Or also another question, was I born in California? And I can clearly tell he wasn't. Because in California, what I'm doing is not the weirdest thing. I've seen some weird shit going on in California cities, such as people walking their dogs without cleaning it up after them in the middle of the night, literally at midnight. Because sometimes I work really late and I walk home and I see some crazy shit. People walk their dogs in the middle of the night when signs are clearly posted that the parks are closed. Oh, it's okay if you run in the middle of the night around a park, and a lot of times people pretend that they're jogging around, but they're really hooking up in the park to go fuck. Kids go into a rocket, go to the top and start fucking. And then you have people start playing soccer or whatever else in the middle of the night when the park is closed. Or in other cases, people, are walking their dogs in the middle of the night when the parks are closed and yet not picking up after their animals. Plus, you got other things as people driving through parks like it's a roadway. Cops do this as well. When they really don't need to. But they do. And then you got Muslims. I can understand, like when it's Ramadan and stuff, and they're fasting, that they go to a park when sun sets. They have their light snack, as it were, their meal, depending on how devout of a Muslim they are. But what really gets weird is they keep on doing this, even at midnight, fully dressed up in burqas and stuff, in their hijabs, and like completely looking weird. It's almost like I've seen them where they're dressing up as if they're the Klan without the pointy tops. The same exact colors and designs of what look like to be Klansmen, except they're pointy tops. But then when they turn around, you say that they're white all the way around their clothes, or it's all black, and there's no, cross or any other symbols that determine that they're part of the Klan. Because I know that they're Muslims by looking at what they look like. Not by skin color or anything like that, because they're all wrapped up. It's really on the style of their clothes. It kind of gives it away. And that's just a few of the weird things. Such as people in spandex underwear. That's it, just spandex underwear running around the park in broad daylight. Or something in the middle of the night. I've seen people with, slutty attire, looking like prostitutes, just walking their dog, or walking their husband or their kids. Mom that looks hot and slutty. Oh well. That's kind of what California is. And yes, it is windy right now. But, anyways, I just can't stand being harassed and being threatened with a physical form of violence. And yes, the cop that harassed me did not even have his name tag on, or any other identification to determine who he was, except he was wearing a standard police uniform. And a standard, black and white police car. But, oh well. When you think I am scary, when you haven't even seen what I've seen, and that's just only even Southern California. I've seen some really off-the-wall shit. Such as little kids claiming to be gang members, shooting at each other over for a fucking bathroom. Which in real life, it was really to do was argue over who has the rights to sell dope in the park. Yeah. Just another crazy day in California. I hope you understand this, but it's alright. Just be glad that you don't have these problems, and be glad that you probably don't live here. I've been in other areas where towns that were afraid of outsiders, and yet they didn't treat me like shit, yelling and screaming at me. They just smiled and waved at me. Hey, wave back, it's friendly. I miss that, especially in the Midwest. I really do. The only thing I don't miss is my sisters. Especially my eldest sister. No,